At 6 p.m. yesterday evening, you were executed and pronounced dead. You no longer exist. What you're about to see, hear, and feel are the memories of your ancestor, who has been dead for 500 years.
What do you want from me?
Your past.
Welcome to the Spanish Inquisition.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Assassin's Creed was directed by Justin Kurzel, and it stars Oscar-nominated Michael Fassbender, Oscar-nominated Marion Cotillard, and Oscar winner Jeremy Irons. And as I'm sure you know, I'm doing an Oscar series where I review all of the movies I think are going to be nominated for Oscars this year, and this is totally not one of them. No, not at all. Just thought I'd throw this one in there just to keep things even. So, I'm a casual fan of the video games. You know, I've played just about all of them, but I'm not, like, super hardcore into them. I don't know the lore a whole lot. I just know they're fun to play sometimes. Sometimes they're not. But I had faith in this one because Assassin's Creed does have an interesting story. And there's a lot of good people behind this film. And when I saw trailers for it, I thought, maybe this is the one. Video game movies have a terrible, terrible track record. And I thought this could be the one that breaks that. It's not gonna happen at this point. Video game movies just aren't supposed to be good. It's not something that's ever going to happen in our lifetime. I'm a strong believer in talking about the bright side first. So let's start off with the things that I enjoyed, if I can even use that word for this. I thought the costumes and props were actually really cool. I'll give them that. Like, the prop designer for this really looked into the video games because everything did feel like it came right out of the game. Like, from the little blades to the costumes that they wore. Like, it's nuts. Like, there was 6,000 beads used for Michael Fassbender's assassin costume. That's insane. A lot of work went into that, and I'll give credit to where credit's due. Also, there was one thing from the video games that I didn't know if they were going to include in the movie or not, just because it's a weird thing to do. And they actually did it. And it actually got a Guinness World Record. Who knew? Yes, they actually did the signature leap of faith from the video games. And they did it. Like, I don't mean like they CGI'd a guy jumping off of something. Like, they did it. They had a stunt guy do a 125-foot jump. And that's admirable. It just, you know, it just kind of fucking sucks that they had to use it on this piece of ass garbage that is Assassin's Creed the movie. Where do I start with this? The story? Was there a story? Let's start with the story. This movie was produced by Ubisoft, the video game company, and is not a direct adaptation from any of the video games, but a new story with all new characters set in the same universe as the games. So Desmond is off doing his Ezio business while this movie's going on. Our new story follows Fassbender's Cal, a man on death row for, spoiler alert, killing a pimp. You'd think there would be more to that story, to him being on death row for killing a pimp. But there's not. No, that's all we get when you watch the movie. It's the only line of dialogue that you get on that matter. He killed a pimp. So he's on death row. Before his death sentence, he is picked up by the company Abstergo. And much like Desmond from the video games, his ancestry involves a very important assassin dude. He is placed into the totally not Matrix machine, the Animus, where he can relive the memories of his ancestor and help Abstergo obtain the Apple of Eden, an ancient artifact that will help them cure violence. That's the goal of Abstergo, is to cure violence, because you can do that. Abstergo can do that. The actors in this film are all fantastic outside of this film. And in their defense, this script is just absolutely unsalvageable. It's borderline astonishing how many extremely talented actors they got to be in this film. Fassbender plays the protagonist, whose goals are basically whatever the script needs them to be, without any motivation or journey to get there. He also plays Aguilar, the ancestor, where he's Michael Fassbender in a Spanish wig. That's really all I knew about him after watching this. Oh yeah. And also, he's an assassin. Jeremy Irons plays the villain, who you're not supposed to know is the villain. But, come on. He's Jeremy Irons. He's the villain. Marion Cotillard plays his daughter, who isn't evil, but is evil. Sometimes. She's a really great actor. She's an Oscar-nominated actress. Like, I love her. She's great in everything that she's been in. And it's almost like the filmmakers saw her resume and saw that she could cry on cue. So every scene she's in, she's crying. Not because there's any purpose to it, but just because maybe they felt like that added emotional depth to have this actress just tearing up in every scene. Every single scene. Just about. Maybe every other. I'll give them that. Maybe it's every other scene that she's crying. The names involved with this film are a big reason why I thought this would break the video game movie trend. You almost have to wonder how they got everyone to be in this. Money. Oh, yeah. It should be a deadly sin to waste such incredible talent on such an incredibly shitty script. You know what's nice to have in a script sometimes? Just sometimes. Character development. I dig character development. Oh, by the way, Assassin's Creed had none. Like, a thing would happen to a character. Just a thing. Like, a scene would happen, and then the script would decide that's enough development to change a character's motivation. Like, oh, they experienced something, so they've changed their mind on this matter. Exposition was done just about as ridiculously. Either there was way too much, or there was absolutely none. There were more than a few scenes of just a character telling another character for 5 minutes what the plot is. Also, every character in this movie expressed how they were feeling by stating what they were feeling. This is my life's work. I don't want to do this. I want to do this. I'm sad. Then there's the scenes in the past, which is where most of the video games take place. And here, we're given little to nothing, character-wise. This is the good guy. This is his girlfriend. This is the thing they need. This is the bad guy. He has the thing they need. They fight sometimes. Then, when a character would die, they would play it in, like, slow motion with emotional music playing and, like, close-ups on another person's face. Like, we were actually supposed to give a fuck about that character. Like, did I know that character? Was I supposed to feel for that character? Did that character even have a name? Speaking of which, who the hell were these guys? There was a whole group of assholes the movie kept cutting back to at Abstergo. Like, they were supposed to be side characters. There was one scene in which they introduced themselves. They just said who they were. And that was it. That was the only dialogue that we got from those characters. And then they were treated like they were like these really important side characters that were helping the movie go forward. It almost felt like a chunk of this movie was missing that, like, helped explain who these people were, other than just, hello, my name is this. Hello, my name is this. Hello, my name is this, and I do this. And then actually, I found out recently that the original cut of this movie was 2 hours and 20 minutes long. But the cut that we got theatrically was 1 hour and 48 minutes long. So there's a little bit of stuff missing. Nothing in this movie made sense story-wise. It was an absolute mess. Like, there were a few times in this film where my girlfriend would turn to me and ask me if she didn't understand the scene because she didn't play the video games. And I just had to tell her the truth. No, this is all new stuff. And it's all shit. They could have literally transferred any one of the many video games that already exist and just put that story on a big screen, and it would have been a million times better. This being a movie based on Assassin's Creed, one of the most popular action video game franchises of all time, you'd think that at the very least, the action scenes would have been done well. No. Kudos to Michael Fassbender, though. Word is that he actually did most of his stunts, and that's really cool, because there were some pretty intense stunts in this movie. It just would have been nice if we could actually see them. It seemed like the action scenes were really well choreographed, but we couldn't tell because it was constantly cutting. Like, everything was so over-edited. There was so much shaky cam during the fighting scenes. You don't know what's going on. Like there's like a split second in your mind where you think, oh, this is cool, but they cut away from it. It's okay. to just shoot an action scene, to just set the camera down and let actors do something. There were just way too many cuts, and showing off the new Animus didn't help. Now, I did enjoy the concept of the new Animus. When I saw it in the trailer, I did think it was kind of cool that they made it more of a physical thing instead of just laying in a bed like the Matrix. Which, by the way, they changed it in the movie literally because they didn't want it to be like the Matrix. But then they just overutilized it. They thought it was the coolest shit, and they didn't forget to tell you about it. During almost every single fight scene in this film in the past, it would cut back to the Animus. Now, it's fine to do it every now and then to show that, no, hey, this is his reality. This is where he's at. But the thing is, it kept doing it. Every single fight scene, every other second, had a cut to the Animus. And it was just ridiculous. Like, the Matrix liked to show you that, no, Neo is in a bed, he has his head hooked into a machine, but it did it like once or twice. Like, this is what it would look like if the Matrix did what Assassin's Creed did.
I know Kung Fu.
Overall, this film is pretty much shit. I've heard hardcore fans of the video games really enjoyed this movie because of how true it stayed to the source material, like you know, props and costume wise, and how it like got assassins right. But I'm just a casual fan of the video games. I'm a film fan first and foremost. And as a film fan, this film was shit. I went to the opening night. Like, I went to the very first night that it played in my area. And in that theater, it was full too. It was a full theater. In that theater, there were two separate guys in two separate groups of people snoring. Absolutely snoring, just sleeping throughout the entire movie. And then there was another couple that just walked out. Like, it wasn't like they went to go get popcorn or something. It was like halfway through the movie. They were just done. Like they left. They did not come back. So it should come as no surprise that I'm going to give Assassin's Creed 3 out of 10. I held out hope for this movie. I didn't go into it thinking I was going to hate it. But I hated it. So thanks for watching. Subscribe, you know, do the usual YouTube stuff.
You're not wearing any pants.
Oh yeah, also I'm not wearing any pants, which is really nice about shooting from like here up. I don't think they could hear you because it's this way.
You're not wearing any pants.
Yeah, I'm not wearing pants. But anyway, as always, watch movies, my friends.